Hey, word up, everyone. This is Ferd Bird the Nerd with another video game market report for you guys for the first week of July, almost 4th of July weekend. I want to get out one more video before the holiday and wanted to specify more emphasis on video games. I got some pretty cool grails, some pretty interesting sales, and a warning sale just to be absolutely transparent and to try and help out the community with this new kind of segment, or I guess growing segment. I don't think it's really new, but if you guys do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tell all of your friends, whether they're video game collectors, comic books, magazines, One Piece, Pokemon, anything that is nerdy as heck and could be worth something later down the road. I'll shut up and get into the list. But if you guys want to leave me a comment as well, I had a pretty good discussion the last time about graded video games and how dumb it sounds. And to each his own. I'm not. I used to be back in the day. I used to give a hard time to people on how they spend their money, and it's not my money. It's not my. It's not my way to judge. I know there's a lot of stuff out there that says we want to keep people on the market and we want to keep people collecting or keep newer people collecting in whatever caveat that be or category. As long as you're having fun doing it and not losing a bunch of money and not pissing off your girlfriend, wifey, or kids, I think it's okay. That's just kind of my rant for the day. And my purpose here is just to kind of not necessarily say buy these video games, not these are going to go up 120 fold, but just to kind of give you an idea of like if this is the stuff I look at and I'm curious about and what I find fascinating in the market and how it's always changing with every single market. But specifically, we're talking about video games today. So anyway, first off, we have PSP Castlevania, the Dracula X Chronicles. I just got done, or I'm actually halfway done with the new Netflix show on Netflix. If you aren't watching the new Castlevania show, you are missing out. They're all really great. A couple of them, it's obviously, like the whole story deals with the Belmonts. There is another Belmont in this story, and he's kind of a magician or has magical powers. And man, it's a really cool story. We have to rewatch it again, but they're dealing with some stuff in this past in this current season now. The some of the Anyway, watch it. But when I was looking at video games that are kind of associated with this particular season or story, it's the Castlevania X Super Nintendo game, which there's a bunch of different variations. There's one from Japan, but it's really expensive, especially the one that came over here. It's a grail. It's like $2,500 for a 9.8, 9.4 sealed. So I was kind of looking like, as we always do, like what are the later prints? What are possible systems later down the road that may have made this game? This is what I found. I wasn't sure, though. I didn't do enough research if this was like a sequel to that game or if this was just a reprint. I'm not really sure. But nonetheless, $99 for a sealed version of this game. I don't know if this game would be worth more if it was like on Nintendo DS or like a Nintendo or Game Boy Color. The PSP, this iteration didn't last very long. And, unfortunately, I think the problem with PSP is like the screen was just too damn small. It just didn't do well in that case. But it was a great system. I had one back in the day or mid 2000s. And I think also I don't really look at a lot of PSP sealed games just because I never played. I didn't have it for long enough to like make it like a point for me to look for. But you're gonna pay $100 for this sealed. It's the ones I've seen online are fairly dirty. You might want to get it scrubbed or cleaned by one of the grading companies out there. I know CGC offers a service to do that. But nonetheless, it's a cool collectible. I think it's a great franchise to own, and it's on a different platform as well. Now, I think the last live show that I did with Nemesis Prime, we talked about, or Derek, I think, shout out to my man Derek. I think you were asking about like sports games and if they do very well. Well, I think it just kind of depends. Like I was saying, definitely Ken Griffey Jr. is a good one to have. I would say the 2Ks those games were just amazing. And after the Dreamcast system died off, there was only Madden football. This is one of those games that is no longer being made. And I feel like this is just purely someone had this game sealed. They were a Troy Aikman fan or a fan of this game, and they just want to have it preserved or graded or what have you. And they're like, you know what? I don't know if I want this game still, but I'll throw it up online. And a buyer came through that was a huge Troy Aikman fan or a fan of this game. I don't even remember this game at all. And they're like, $300, I'll take it. So I think this is another one of those another one of those examples of buyer and seller both made out pretty well on this game. So if I do find more of these sports games out there, sealed especially, I'll definitely put it out there, Derek. But I think it's a great sale. Skyrim, I don't know if I say that. It's an Elder Scrolls game. It's the fifth Elder Scrolls game iteration. 9.4 went for $150 on PS3. Now, I think if this is like a 9.8, this would probably go for maybe 400. I don't know if you cross this over a 9.6 from CGC over to WANA and get a 9.8 or like vice versa. But I think WANA is pretty lenient on their grades there. You're going to get a better grade out of WANA is what I hear. But yeah, I don't mind the sale. $150 is pretty strong, and it's a pretty good stuff. I appreciate this sale for sure. And I think it has some long-term value as well. This is the one of the non-graded sales I found today. Sealed Paper Mario for the N64. I think this is a great grail of a continued franchise. The cover's really good, so I think it pops very well. $900 for this bad boy. Mario and Zelda still reign supreme as kind of the Nintendo franchises to invest in, but this is pretty cool. I remember Paper Mario didn't get a lot of fluff just because of like the cartoony-ishy kind of look to it. I think people just didn't really resonate with it very well. It's on N64, which is one of the more, I guess, sought after graded systems, consoles, what have you, along with PS1 in that mid 90s kind of era. But yeah, I love this sale. It's definitely a grail buy for a quote unquote mass produced game, but it's sealed. When I took a look at the pictures of this particular game, it looked like it was in pretty good condition. And those cardboard seals, man, I mean, those, if you get a 10.0 on those, I mean, that is a keeper, or even a 9.8 or higher. Those are definitely like high grades for the cardboard guys. So anyway, if you're in the market for Paper Mario, I doubt you'll find this in a video game store for $900, but that's what it's going for. This was a weird one. Silly Face in a 9.8. Now, that obviously this is for Switch. It's mature 16 or higher, I think. 325 with multiple bits. There's like 41 bits on this game. I never heard of this game, but from what I read online, it's a fairly rare game. Switch is it's pretty easy to get a high grade in Switch if you just pay attention. Obviously, for the first prints, it's going to be 4 zeros like in a row. Second prints are 3 zeros and the preceding 1, and so on. But it's hard. I got to do more research on like rare, like not intentionally rare Switch games, because I think there's some major potential there, and there's still opportunity if you see them like at a Target or Walmart to look for a first print, and just you might get lucky. I can imagine seeing this like, I can imagine people just like passing this by and just not wanting to get into it. But and now I'm looking at it a little closer. It's a super rare, I want to say. So maybe there's intentional rareness on this. Anyway, I just thought it was an interesting sale when I was looking at some past water or CGC graded sales here. But 325 for multiple bits. So this is a sought after key for the Nintendo Switch. Next up, I thought this was a really cool game. I never heard of it. Wii U Pokken Tournament. I don't know if that's like a play on Tekken, but it totally looks like a Tekken cover with Pokemon characters instead. I think this would probably do a little better if you had like Charizard versus Blastoise, the more like, I guess, evolved or more sought after Pokemons. But nonetheless, I mean, at 10 multiple bids, $316 for this guy. I'm definitely going to try and find a sealed copy of this and try and get a 10 A++. That's a super good that's a super good grade for a sealed Wii U game, for sure. But I like the concept of this. I like the sale. And if you're a Pokemon completionist, this is probably one on your radar for sure. Before I get into these two games, just want to say thanks everyone for watching these videos. Hit that like button, subscribe to all your friends, leave a comment in the comments section below. I promise to get back to you. Let's keep the numbers going, guys. I appreciate all your support. So like in comic books, like we always say, like if a property's optioned, or if it's actually goes to screen, or there's casting calls, like the comic books go up in price, which is what happened with the Devil May Cry comic books. Now I'm halfway again through the series, like I am with Castlevania, and it's pretty good. I think there's enough like interest there. I like the Castlevania series a little better, but I think it's probably because I like the game more. But these didn't really move the needle, and these are 9.6 first prints. You can tell that by the seal at the upper hand corner there. And it's not easy to get a 9.6 in these games at all. But they didn't really move. $150 for each one. Maybe you'd be more apt to get a higher price point in Devil May Cry #1, but I think that number 3 in a 9.6 for $150 is not a bad investment, going forward. I don't know how successful the Devil May Cry cartoon did, but if there's more series, I mean, that's just brings more eyes to that medium. But I like the Devil May Cry 2 cover better, but I feel like Devil May Cry 3 has less print run. Next up, I thought it was really cool. Mario Brothers Game Boy Advance and a sealed 9.6 for $455. I thought that was really cheap. This is a classic NES, video game. The sealed original goes in 9.6 probably goes for like 10 to 20,000. I'm just assuming, kind of pulling numbers out of my butt, but whatever. So this is a great, I guess, alternative to that if you're not a millionaire or just have ample amounts of money that you don't care about blowing on video games. But this had multiple bits, 455 multiple bits, Game Boy Advance. I gotta imagine this is pretty cool to play this on a handheld as well. I remember, obviously, this is like one of the first games I ever played, and I played it till 4 a.m. for days on end. I don't even remember if I beat Mario Brothers, but definitely I won't say a grail, but more so a sought after game that everyone should have in their collection of some sort. And the last but not least, this is kind of like my weariness video game of the week and just in general, right? So when we're buying first prints, especially for PlayStation 2, the easiest way to kind of know that it's a first print or earlier print is that sticker at the upper right-hand corner of that PS2. The later prints still get okay money. You're not going to get as much as first print money, obviously, but how to know is that on the seal, or sorry, on the actual encapsulation of the grading company, they'll indicate what year it comes from. Sometimes, of course, there's mistakes here and there, but I did see a 2007-10 second print go for about $750, which is what a 9.9 goes for in the first print San Andreas auto game. Now, I knew this because I'm pretty sure it was on a show that I've watched before. And then also, with that said, there wasn't that seal at the top of the right-hand corner of the video game. Now, I could be totally wrong, but I was pretty on spot with this, with just knowing that, okay, this obviously is a second print. Now, again, you can grade those if you're wanting a high grade and you want to keep in your collection. I have a couple 9.9s of the second print San Andreas game myself, and I don't think it's a bad thing to have if you give it for like $80, right? But if you're trying to invest in it, I don't know. I don't think it's a great investment. I think the better investments are like a 9.4, 9.6 in the sealed first prints with this kind of logo. Now, this is a B grade on the actual overall. It's not an A++ seal, but it's a B seal. I think that's still okay. I think our eyes are more fixated on the actual overall grade of 9.6. But anyway, this one went for $455 with multiple bids, so it kind of gives you an idea of what a 9.8 probably goes for, like $700 to $800. But just make sure that if you see a sale or if you see a potential product up for sale that just seems off and it's a 10 or a 9.9, if it's going for a 9.8 price of a second print, it's probably not a good investment. You probably want it's just going to knock it down. There's just no way around it, even if it has a higher grade. But nonetheless, everyone, that's just kind of my 2 cents there. And that's all I have. So, okay, let's see. That is the show for today. I just want to say thanks to everyone for your support. Click that like button, subscribe to all your friends, and I will see you next time. Take care. Have a great holiday.